One-on-One followed the life of former NBA player turned commentator Flex Washington, played by Flex Alexander, and his new relationship with his teenage daughter Brianna, portrayed by Kyla Pratt. In addition to Alexander and Pratt, the show also starred Robert Ri'chard, Cicely Sewell, and Kelly Perrine as their longtime friends. One-on-One debuted in September 2001 and became a part of UPN's weekly comedy lineup. The last season will undergo some major changes, as the show will change from a father and daughter relationship and focus mainly on the show's youngest cast members in order to attract a younger viewer audience. Cicely and Perrine were two characters who didn't end up making it to the final season, and the show's star, Flex Alexander, was subjected to a reduced role on the series, only appearing in 6 out of the last 22 episodes. Now, in the series, Cicely played the character of Spirit Jones, best friend with Arnez and Brianna. Spirit was known to be the hippie of her group and made her own clothes and displayed a unique fashion sense. Spirit's likability and chemistry with her co-stars was unmatched, which is why Cicely Sewell will always remain unforgotten. Sewell was born October 1st, 1985. At a young age, Sewell's mother, Bernadine Pinky Winchester, left an abusive marriage and left behind Sewell and her younger brother. Winchester returned a few years later for her children and ended up moving to California. I remember the day she came back. I didn't know she was coming, and there were way too many police officers outside the house. My little brother didn't even remember who she was, and he only went along because I told him I was going. Sewell began her career at the age of 8 when she made an uncredited appearance on an episode of Sesame Street. In 1995, she got the role of Young Asia in a few episodes of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. She also appeared as Angela Bassett's niece in the 1998 film How Stella Got Her Groove Back. In 2001, Sewell's career would hit new heights as she would land the part of Spirit Jones on the then new sitcom One-on-One and would remain there for the show's first 4 seasons. On the show, Spirit was the best friend of Kyla Pratt's character, Brianna, and was a daughter of former hippies who run an incense shop. She would stay true to her name as a voice of reason for her friends throughout the seasons. When the 5th season of the show was announced, fans would discover that some of their favorite characters wouldn't be returning. Both Sewell and actor Kelly Perrine were told that the show was going in a different direction and UPN was not going to renew their contract option. Sewell's final appearance on the show was in May of 2005. After attempting to cater to a different audience instead of the audience the show had built for 5 years, One-on-One was canceled in May of 2006 after UPN and the WB merged to form the CW. One-on-One would officially last for 5 seasons and aired with over 100 episodes. In an interview with The Shade Room back in 2019, Sewell will reflect on her time on the series. It was amazing. It had never really hit me how many people loved or identified with the show. It never really has. I just knew I was going to work every day to make some folks laugh. I never got used to it, and I always was nervous and taken aback by the job. However, the cool thing that we were the same age as our characters. I was a year older, so life was really parallel. So a lot of things that we might have missed out in life, we got to live out on the show. In 2006, Sewell would marry drummer Chris Johnson, and they would go on to have 2 daughters together. Since becoming a mother, Sewell seems to have retired from acting because her last credited role was back in 2007. While on break, Sewell discovered she had a passion for cooking and seems to have enjoyed becoming a chef in recent years. From 7 to 20, I busted my ass. Acting paid well, but it's not what I wanted to do forever. When Madison was a newborn, I was too fat to go back to acting, and I didn't want to lose the weight. I knew I needed to do something with my life. With encouragement from her mother, Sewell began taking culinary classes and eventually ended up working as an intern at the Los Angeles Times Test Kitchen. She would then begin freelancing as a food stylist as well. After a divorce from her husband, Sewell moved to the Bay Area in 2016 and developed a plan for her own restaurant, Pinky and Red's, a sandwich shop she ran with her mother. Now, in 2018, Pinky and Red's finally opened. It was clear that from the beginning, Sewell had a vision for her new restaurant. It was important for us to show that people coming from our communities can run a successful restaurant. You have all these restaurants where the highest paid individuals are not the people of color, even though much of the labor is. A year would go by and Sewell ended up moving from California to New York with her daughters, and she would now enter a relationship with fellow female chef Mavis J. Sanders. Since coming to New York, Sewell began to develop and run a new soul food restaurant called Colors. In 2019, Sewell did an interview and was asked about her transition into another career field. I was dabbling in cooking semi-professionally. I had been married for a bit, just had my eldest daughter, and I was legit ready to not go back to acting. All I knew is I wanted to do something that I love and passionate about. So I made the decision to go to culinary school and started a few weeks later. It was the best decision that I have ever made career-wise. It was hard and worth it. This episode of Unforgotten is presented by Herbal Results. The U.S. National Institute of Health studies show that Herbal Results products naturally reverse symptoms of high blood pressure, diabetes, eczema, seizures, kidney disease, herpes, and more. Visit herbalresults.net to review video testimonials, scientific data, and to purchase their life-restoring products. Results speak louder than words. Now, Colors would open up in 2019, and the restaurant made the hit list for New York City restaurants. However, in January 2020, Sewell will reveal on her Instagram that the restaurant will be losing funding and will be shutting down.
Hey y'all, Cicely here. I'm the chef of Colors New York. Many of you may have heard that our owners pulled our funding and forced us to close the door to donate on our Venmo. It's at @4_the_team to be able to just raise some extra funds. So we're just reaching out to everyone that we know in our community and asking for people to pull up, to support, to buy a meal. Our employees a cushion because they didn't have the luxury of time to prepare and find other jobs, and they still have bills to pay and families to take care of. So we just want to spend the next 2 days creating the space that we hoped for. And I really want to be able to shower them with a little extra cash in their pocket so they can have some sort of a cushion and be able to figure it out. So we just want to be able to finish strong.
In that same interview with the Shade Room back in 2019, Sewell did state that at some point she'd like to marry both of her passions, acting and cooking, as she has expressed being open to returning to acting when asked in the interview. I think it would be beautiful to marry my two careers of cooking and acting. Who knows? I'm open to it. Hopefully soon she'll return to the entertainment industry, but if that isn't the case, Sewell has provided many laughs throughout her 4 seasons on 101, and that's why Cicely Sewell will always be unforgotten.